Saw a little bit of everything weather-wise here. Day 5 at Saints training camp. Drizzle leading to bright sunny skies before the rain hit after practice. I'm Todd Graffagnini along with John DeShazier. This is the afternoon wrap right here on NewOrleansSaints.com. As we started day 5, we were immediately given some roster moves by the New Orleans Saints. Some have left, now some are in.
Yeah, the main guy, one of the main guys who's in is receiver Traven Durrell. Traven Durrell has been around this team for a couple of years now. He's a guy who obviously the Saints feel pretty good about, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him back. He's got some potential. He can get deep. Everybody around here knows him from his days at LSU. And he's a guy who has some potential. And obviously the Saints are needing a little bit of potential at that receiver spot because they might be a little bit thin there right now. So Traven, one of those guys, comes into camp a little bit late. He's been around. Hopefully he can obviously adapt pretty quickly to what the Saints are doing because he knows this offense, and maybe he can contribute.
Also on the local front, former Tulane running back and former Washington Redskin Rob Kelly is now a member of the New Orleans Saints. Going to see what he can do in that running back core. And JD, having watched Rob in college, I mean, this is a kid who has a lot of potential. He's obviously been a pro with Washington, but boy, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. And if he maintains his weight, and that's been the key, and that's why the Saints brought him in, he can really be a load to try to bring down.
Yeah, I think Coach Payton specifically mentioned that he had lost 15 pounds since he worked out from now until when he actually comes into training camp. That's a huge number for a guy, and obviously kudos to Rob Kelly because he understands that he needed to lose that weight to be an effective NFL player. So hopefully he's going to have an opportunity here. We've seen the Saints have a little attrition at running back. Latavius Murray has not practiced the last couple of days, so he was able to get in immediately and get some reps today.
We talk about expectations, JD, and obviously the Saints are coming off of back-to-back NFC South championships. How do you sustain the level of excellence? 13 wins a year ago. That's a very important thing, and it's tough because the way the NFL is shaped nowadays, it really breeds parity. Can you continue the pace that they've been on?
Yeah, that's a difficult thing, and we know that right out of the gate for the Saints. Their first 4 games are against playoff teams. 2 of those games back-to-back on the road where they'll go out to LA and then go to Seattle, won't even come home between trips. So the NFL doesn't do you any favors the better you are. You're going to be playing division champions most of the time. You're going to be playing a lot of playoff teams from that previous season. So it'll show up early how good you are.
Let's hear from Saints head coach Sean Payton on how to maintain that consistency.
I mean, I think our expectations and what we want to achieve from a season hopefully are high. So I think winning in our league is difficult, and getting to that consistency and I've got a tape I just put together. There's 5 or 6 games a year ago that were inside a touchdown. It's kind of what's the difference in an 8-8, 7-9 season to a 12-13 win season. You're going to play 5 or 6 of those games that are within a score, and you got to find a way to win more of those than you don't.
Saints wide receiver Traquan Smith in his 2nd season in the system. And JD, we've already talked about some roster moves in the wide receiving core with Cam Meredith leaving, also Traven Durrell coming in. But Traquan's had a solid camp to this point, continues to make plays. He's going to have to keep doing it to help out Michael Thomas.
Yeah, he was a guy who came on strong in training camp last year. We had high hopes for him. Everybody had high hopes for him. He made some acrobatic catches in training camp. He showed some flashes during his rookie season. He was the guy, remember, who caught the pass from Drew Brees that set the all-time yardage record. So he's a guy who's been around a little bit now, and you hope that he's picked up the system a little bit better.
Let's hear from Traquan Smith.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I don't have to think about my splits anymore. When I'm running out there, I already know, based off of some play calls, what my split's going to be. So I feel way more comfortable, which allows me to play it at 100% instead of versus last year I was playing at 80 because I'm not knowing what to do. I'm sure about what to do.
Knowing what you know now and what it takes to compete at a high level throughout a regular season, what do you emphasize in training camp to make yourself better for the grind that's coming?
One of the biggest things I say is just compete all the time. You're not going to come out here and the DV just going to give you leeway. You got to compete every day because in their room they're taught to your job is at stake at any moment, so you got to compete all the time. So that would be the biggest thing, is just being out here compete. You know, you compete at the very best and you give your very best, you're going to have good results at the end.
Rookie safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson is making an impact as well. J.D., we have seen him run with the ones at times, and look, you're a rookie in those type of situations. You're going to be put into spots where you're going to have to come through, especially when you're making plays. So good to see him in there early amongst the starters.
Yeah, his versatility is huge. One thing that defensive backs coach Aaron Glenn said was, one, he's built to last physically. Two, he's a kid who's got really good instincts. He's extremely physical also, and he's got the natural ability to cover you. You can use him some in the slot. You can use him as safety, free safety, strong safety. He's a guy who has a lot of abilities, and he's going to be an important chess piece that you can move around.
Yeah, definitely not afraid from contact. Let's go hear from CJ.
I take it personal when I mess up, because if you don't take it personal, that means you're in the wrong business. And I know you're not supposed to dwell on the last play, but I'm trying to go out there and be the best. I'm not trying to go out and be average. I'm not on an average team, so I got to do what I got to do.
Do you feel like the competition and the veterans that you're playing with are making you better?
I mean, it's probably one of the best teams in the league. You know, like I said, it's my first year. Well, it's my first couple months in, NFL. So, with that being said, I don't know much about other teams, but I know watching the Saints football, as I got drafted, that's probably a top-tier team. So, there's going to be some top-tier competition at practice. So, if you're getting the best work quality work out there, then you should be fine in the games.